Good morning, brothers and sisters. Hope you're doing well. We're so excited to see you this morning. I want to welcome you to the National Family Service. We're the Heavenly Parent Holy Community, and we're so excited to start our week off together with you. So, brothers and sisters, please open your hearts, open your minds, and let's let our Heavenly Parent speak to us this morning. Let's kick off this service with our opening song. For our opening song today, let's welcome the Seattle Family Church Band as they perform Higher Ground. Let's sing along with them.
Hello, everyone. We have a wonderful song here called Higher Ground. We're from the Seattle Family Church Band, and this is Mr. Martin Byrne to my right, Mr. David Rogers to my left, and my name is Brian Granstrom, and please join in for this wonderful song. I'm pressing on the upward way, through heights I'm gaining. Every day, still praying as I onward bound. Lift up my feet on higher ground. Lord, lift me up and let me stand.
Thank you, Seattle Family Church Band. Now I'd like to welcome Dr. Sandra Lowen, also from the state of Washington, for our opening prayer.
Good morning, everyone. Let us open our hearts and pray together. Our precious and most beloved Heavenly Parent, how happy we are to be in your presence today. How joyful we are for the vision that you've given us and for the love that you show us every single day of our lives. As we start to look to 2027 and the era of the golden age, let us begin preparing our hearts We know that we are not ready and our world is not ready to be citizens of this divine and heavenly kingdom on earth that you wish for all humankind. We've had so many years to prepare ourselves, and yet we still are not ready. We know that in these COVID times and in these times of social and political unrest, it is easy to say, I have an excuse. I have a moment that I can't do anything. And yet this is the time for us to do the most critical work that needs to be done. It is the time to look into ourselves, to recognize that we must shake ourselves up, and this world is being shaken up because it cannot come to be just a glorious inheritance. We have to do our work. We as brothers and sisters must look at our internal work as well as the external work. Let us see the places in which we can lead in our world, in which we can inspire heaven to inspire others. But most of all, let us take these beautiful words, these beautiful traditions that our true parents have given us. Let's take them into our hearts and lance not only the external boils of society, but our internal wounds and our internal lack. We thank you so much that even as we are, you love us, you accept us, you embrace us. And you call us today to be the people of fulfillment, to be the people that walk those heavenly streets, both spiritually and physically. And we're so grateful for the families, for the individuals that are listening today, and those who will be listening tomorrow as we go about our task of restoration. Thank you so much. And we pray as our beloved brother, Reverend Patton, speaks, that we can get the gold that will come from him, that it will inspire us all week long to do your heavenly will. It is in the names of all of those listening today, our brothers and sisters, our beautiful blessed couples, our generations of righteous children, that we pray and that we report in the names of John and Sandra Lowen, a blessed central couple. Amen and Ajib.
Good morning and welcome to the National Family Service. Our international community was founded by Father and Mother Moon, whom we call our true parents. True parents have taken up the mission bestowed upon them by Jesus Christ to help us all reconnect and fortify our relationship with God through a deeper understanding called the Divine Principle, and by receiving the Holy Marriage Blessing. To learn more about our community, just type #Connect on the Facebook chat, or sign the guest book on nationalfamilyservice.org. On our website, you'll find all the links you'll need for tithing, community, meetups, kid resources, and more. We'd love to hear your ideas and feedback at any time. Just hit the send a message button on our Facebook page to chat with one of our online ushers. Thanks for joining us today. We can't wait to get connected with you.
Now I'd like to invite you to enjoy some Godable this morning, featuring an excerpt from True Mother Hak Ja Han Moon, an anthology.
Today, many people throughout the world are suffering the effects of war, conflict, climate change, and environmental pollution, and most of all, from a confusion of values. This reality fills me with pain and makes my heart so sorrowful. We must take action to fundamentally change this situation and open a new era of peace. I believe this can be done by carrying on and further developing the work of Reverend Moon, who dedicated his entire life to liberate our Heavenly Parent, bring salvation to humankind, and realize a world of peace. All people desire to live in a world where they can enjoy freedom, peace, unity, and happiness. Reverend Moon and I have invested ourselves fully throughout our lives, working to build one world where people attend God as our Heavenly Parent. Forgive and love. Ladies and gentlemen, we must forgive one another, love our families and neighbors, and unite under the banner of peace. My husband and I forgave those who were unforgivable and loved even the enemy that could not be loved, all for the sake of Heavenly Parent and humankind. We called for the breakdown of borders that divide us while working in practical ways to unite people for the sake of world peace.
That was such a great reading from True Mother's Anthology this morning, talking about really building a world of peace where we all can come together. So brothers and sisters, I want to take this time now to greet our leadership. We have an opportunity to hear directly from Dr. Ki-Hoon Kim, our International Vice President of Family Federation, and the President of Family Federation here in the USA, Reverend Damian Dunkley. Good morning to both of you. We're so excited to hear from you this morning.
Good morning, Kelly. Thank you. Good morning, Reverend Dunkley. How are you doing today?
Very well, thank you. Thank you very much. How are you?
Good. I'm fine.
You know, I heard you were home yesterday, so we did actually have a barbecue with some friends just close by. So we had an opportunity to eat too much food and play with too many firecrackers. I don't know. Our dog was afraid. But anyway, we had a good time with the families. It was a wonderful time. Also because we could see the graduates, you know, GPA graduates, high school graduates, middle and elementary school graduates. So it was good to take a pictures with them, just local, some friends and family. But anyway, how about you? I know you had a simple July 4th at home with your family.
Yes, even, there are no official big fireworks.
Right.
Usually we can participate nearby here, a village and even, private golf course. They have wonderful annual 4th of July, incredible, fireworks, and everybody, looking for that kind of fireworks. And then one biggest firework really inspire people to remember today is 4th of July. Only fireworks really inspire. We are celebrating Independence Day or 4th of July.
Yeah.
But however, they stop this year, first time in Chicago and village, biggest and greatest of fireworks. But people, they have their own fireworks all around the corner to corner. So I never heard that fireworks lasting overnight.
Few a long time.
Yeah, usually, that cities and village fireworks 30 minutes, peak, and over. Even last night, all night long, individually, corner to corner, we heard these fireworks. So people really try to, enjoy and remembering 4th of July, our ancestors, how they dedicated for the sake of this nation, centering on Heavenly Parents.
Yeah.
So, Damian, always, my, antenna is sometimes lower down or sometimes put the, higher and higher, where is true mother, where is true parent, where true mother going to, and what true mother saying to all around the world, our beloved family members. And I was very impressed, that few days ago, True Mother invited the Cheonilguk National University, someone university student around over 200 with the condition of social distance, invited to Hyojung Cultural Center in Changpyeong Complex. And then True Mother share very wonderful messages. I never heard about the True Mother's beautiful voice and lovely voice, and very clear sharing with this second generation and third generation who really volunteer and committed themselves to be a leader of this 7-year courses until 2027, centering on True Mother. Also, True Mother studied Japanese. They call Yumeno-hi. Yumeno-hi. Do you know what that means? Yumeno-hi.
Yumeno-hi.
Yumeno-hi. You should ask your wife.
I should.
Yumeno-hi. Why True Mother start this Japanese word Yumeno-hi? This is day of dream.
That's right.
Day of dream. Because this young second and third generation to remember today, very special day you're having with the True Mother, this occasion. So I call this day is Yumeno-hi, day of dream.
Good morning.
And we all know, how True Mother, loved these coming generations. She really wanted to invested all she had internally and externally for the sake of this coming generation's leadership. We have so many great leaders like Kelly and some other second generations and even third generations is coming up. And True Mother said, you are the pride of heavenly parents. You are pride of true parents. You are happiness of heavenly parent. This is the most delightful, hopeful message and blessing message. And the True Mother, going on because of your commitment, realizing God's dream and true parent's dream, you are greatest hope and happiness. And because of you, God's dream, true parent's dream to build kingdom of heaven on earth to be realized. So this kind of encouragement, of course, True Mother was very beautiful, and also True Mother's voice, really lovely, caring, and inspired, like a mother of them, mother of all of us. So True Mother really request and be ready to fulfill heavenly world providence, centering on true parents and centering on heavenly parents and centering on only a begotten daughter. And this is the greatest hope, upon each one of you, even though your age is young and freshman and sophomore in college. And however, please get this dream to carry on, centering on true parents, and let us fulfill God's dream, true parent's dream, centering on each one of you, your commitment with absolute love, absolute faith, absolute obedience, and plus practicing true love. So it was a beautiful, beautiful message. I really hope you can hear, and also all family members can hear through mother's great message this week.
Yeah, so everybody, Dr. Kim is talking about the HJ Global News. If you want to see this segment, it's the, Mother fills the hall with over 200 youth. And what's the name of our new school? It's the Chonilguk
Chonilguk National University.
National University. So remember, everybody, Mother was talking about this at the beginning of the year, creating, I can really see Mother like creating she wants, like, I don't know, we can say Ivy League. What's higher than Ivy League? Treetop League? But really, it was wonderful to see them and see them with Mother, especially during this quarantine time. And they're all sitting like 6 feet apart, so they feel.
Yeah, right.
Dr. Kim, you've invested decades, your whole life, and I'm sure every 10 years, maybe every 7 years, maybe every 3 years, feels like a whole new era, new providence, new expansion, new challenges. But especially as a senior member, after investing already every year of from middle school, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your life. How does it feel when you see, to you, how do you feel when you see young second and third generation standing up?
Yes, we have a growing period.
Yeah.
Certain period, and also going up and up. We have, stepping up every time, decade after decade. People try to grow up, not same situation or same condition all the time. So this is even not only, we look for decade by decade, even every day, we are growing up because of heavenly parents, because of true parents, and because especially we have only begotten daughter, true mother. And that's why, my antenna all the time going, where is true mother? What true mother is speaking about, and who is the audience? And, I found out this precious message to our coming generations. Even today, God will mention about true love. We heard true love so many times. What is true love? Living for the sake of others. And today, God will, when I work every morning, early morning, I hearing God will. And, true love is parents, love of parents, love of husband and wife, and love from children, not just the love coming down and horizontally, even love coming from children, centering on God, parent and husband and wife, from children. This love come into action. This is true love. So this is today. This morning I learned.
It's amazing. Yeah, me too. Because it's like the way I hear that, the way I understand that is that it is the combination of these loves that is true love.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
The whole picture.
Mm-hmm. So this space, growing, what I learned from yesterday and today, with that base, I can learn more same things, but look same things. I can feel same things, but fresh and new things.
I see. So I know what you're saying. So you're saying even though you're senior brother and you've invested already your whole life for true parents, actually your heart is young, because every day is fresh and new growing, right? Yeah, I believe so too. Yeah, thank you. So Dr. Kim, I think we have over 1,000 cities, around the world watching. And today we have a main message from one of our sub-regional directors coming up soon. But what is your final greeting on this July 4th in America? But as you know, Mother's really building up for world cosmic settlement of Heavenly Parent Holy Community. This is an exciting time. Many people still praying and figuring out what are we doing, right? The next 7 years. But what's your final greeting to the world today?
So, yesterday, our daily website, the Family Federation World Peace USA, and they remembering about the True Parents Belvedere celebration, 4th of July. That message, how this country came up and what is our situation today. But more than anything else, we must understand as American and all family federation members around the world, what is the mission of America. And for the sake of true parents, and we must stand up for the sake of heavenly parents, because this country prepared by heavenly parents last over 200 years. 244 years, this father and mother came after this foundation, and then try to once again revitalize, awakening this country, because this country is going away from God's providence. And Father, Mother Moon came to save this country and reawakening and revived this Christianity, and for the sake of God bless America.
Yeah, that's a really key point. You remind me of when we travel to Korea and we have the opportunity to meet many world leaders, national leaders from other countries. We would ask them, many times I would interview and ask them, so what do you need from America? And of course, naturally, many times we might think that some developing nations, their first request might be, external things, like, maybe money or some supplies or resources. But, Dr. Kim, I heard only one leader mention that point once. Every person I asked had a completely different answer than my expectation. Many times I heard them say something like this. They said, Damien, what we want from America more than anything is we want to see America stand up. We want to see America break through. They said things like, when America breaks through even 1 inch, for us, it's equivalent to a mile, the impact that it has on our nation or our foundation. More than anything, we hope and expect to see America breaking through, standing up, not just stuck about thinking about itself. And they said things like, think about it. For us, maybe True Parents visited 1 time, or maybe True Parents visited 2 times. But compared to America, no nation had that much investment. So if for 40 years of True Parents' direct attention and love in your nation can't bring a big result, then what hope do we have? They expressed, honestly, like that. So actually, brothers and sisters who are not in America right now, those of you who are watching, no matter whether you agree with that sentiment or what, please actually type right now, right? Let us know in America, what is it that you're hoping to see from our American Blessed Central families, our American movement? I'm sure you see many great things, but what is your hope, this year or the next 7 years? Just type away anything according to how you see from your nation's situation, your providential situation. What do you hope to see from America? I think this is a really good question for America to ask when we say American independence. That's not for our own sake, right, Dr. Kim? This isn't just for us to be happy and independent from Europe or independent from England, independent from tyranny. Or for what purpose? For what purpose? So Father said it many times, Mother said it many times. Dr. Kim, you're always reminding us many times at headquarters. With 1 week doesn't pass without Dr. Kim reminding our leadership team that our mission here is not just for America's sake, but for the world. So world, brothers and sisters, family around the world, please remind us, sometimes we need to hear from overseas, because it's easy to get distracted and think that just what's going on around us in America is the world story. But we need, especially on Independence Day, right, Dr. Kim, to remember why we are independent, why we have this blessing, why True Parents invested everything here for the sake of the world. Right?
Yeah, that's correct. That's why, 2 weeks ago when True Mother called, as you mentioned, America must stand up, upholding spirit of true parents and heavenly parents, and, leading this country and saving this country, and we lead the worldwide heavenly providence. This is really True Mother's wishes and desires, and American family members remember this country is the most blessed country in the world, and what purpose? And this country must stand for the sake of others, and especially True Father and True Mother mentioned strongly again and again, this country must stand for the sake of the world.
Yes.
This is the only way we can bless and we can save this country.
Excellent. That's right. So when we say the Pledge of Allegiance, or when we sing the national anthem, when we look up at the flag, we should be thinking for the sake of the world. That's powerful.
Yes.
Aju?
Aju.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kim, for your message today. And thank you all, brothers and sisters. We're going to pass it back to Kayleigh. Enjoy Sunday.
Thank you, Dr. Kim and Reverend Dunkley. Such warm greeting this morning, feeling a lot of True Mother's love from Dr. Kim. I also watched that video several times yesterday, just soaking up that love, especially for our generation. And thank you for the wisdom for America needing to stand up and serve others. And lots of comments are coming in now from brothers and sisters all over the world, sharing what America can do. So at this time, brothers and sisters, there's people watching all over the place. I saw this morning some of the earlier comments. We had Andrea from New Jersey, Jack from Indianapolis, William from Michigan. Thank you for representing your communities and your local churches. At this time, I want to encourage you and invite you to make your local tithe and your local offering to support those communities. Sometimes we can feel disconnected in this time of COVID, right? But we want to continue to invest, continue the spiritual practice of tithing that we know is important for our growth. And while we're making our tithe this morning, I want to invite you to enjoy our offertory song. For our offertory song today, let's head over to Texas and welcome Camp Lone Star, one of our youth summer camps. This week, they hosted their regular camp online and brought creativity, heart, and fun to the table. Let's welcome the Camp Lone Star virtual choir and their performance of Reckless Love. Wow, Camp Lone Star, that was amazing, amazing, amazing. So beautiful to see your creativity. Even in this time where we're not meeting together, you can really feel the spirit of camp. So thank you so much. Thank you for being a representative of the Heavenly Parent Holy Community. So beautiful. So, brothers and sisters, this morning we are able to hear from Reverend Ernest Patton, the director of Subregion 2. He'll be giving our morning message this morning. Uncle Ernest, we're really excited to hear from you. Please share with us.
Good morning, Kaylee. Good morning, Dr. Kim, President Dunkley, brothers and sisters across the USA and around the world. It's really wonderful to be with you. I hope everyone enjoyed wonderful Independence Day celebrations. And I'm speaking to you from a very holy place. This is the Founders Room of the Washington Times building here in Washington, D.C. And I thought it appropriate to speak from here, given Independence Day and given true parents' great love and commitment to the United States to fulfill its mission from God. The Constitution opens with, the Declaration of Independence opens with, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. Among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's a noble ideal, and it sounds like the golden age. However, that was 244 years ago, and we are not there yet. Let me say that I'm sorry that our nation has not yet fully manifested different races and cultures living together as one family under God. True parents bring a solution to that and to the problems that we see all around the world. I'd like to talk a little bit about these problems and the solution. But as we know, many times solutions are relatively simple, but not easy. Recently, True Mother said, I've quietly practiced true love for human salvation and world peace in situations from which anyone else would have run away. My forgiveness and embrace has moved enemies to tears. And this morning I was reading in her memoir, she said, I am the true mother who brings new life. My heart is always open, and I forgive not just 7 times, but 70 times 7. So I feel great hope and great potential for healing the past, creating a beautiful world in the very near future, and forever else for generations to come. In February, our True Mother hosted the World Summit 2020, which was a remarkable gathering of world-level politicians, religious leaders, academicians, scientists, business leaders and economists, educators, artists. It's like every human activity was covered. It's a showcase of the commitment that true parents have to model excellence centered on God. And that it was, for me, when I was there, I really felt like I was living in the golden age. Every event, every meeting was an expression of God's love, God's understanding, and God's hope for humanity. At the conclusion of these conferences, Mother Moon said, what must you do? Always those in power on Satan's side, those who don't know heaven's providence, fear us. I have proclaimed Chunilguk. Chunilguk is a nation in which we are together with our heavenly parent as one human family under God. What a beautiful vision. She continued, within the next 2 years at least, you must bring about national restoration. I'm asking you to find people who will come to have a focus on your nation's politics. But what happened right after that? We returned back to the United States. Fear, confusion, it's just pandemonium ensued. At home and abroad, we see crises everywhere. There are protests and riots in this response to racism. There's a declaration that it's a worldwide pandemic, so governments shut down their societies and their economies. Tensions are rising dangerously between North Korea and South Korea. If you look at even in Zimbabwe, the inflation rate is expected to be over 800% this year. So people are going to be terribly suffering. Also, between China and Taiwan, Chinese fighter jets and bombers almost daily for a week now have been invading Taiwan's airspace. In the US, we have a growing trade dispute with China, and Hong Kong's new security law brutally suppresses any disagreement with the communist government in Beijing. My wife watches the news almost every night, and I asked her why after a while, and she said that she read a book by an early disciple of Reverend Moon, Mrs. Yu. And in that book, she quoted Father saying, you can find where God is by watching the news. True Father said, look at the newspapers. And he meant that Satan will do things before God does them in the world. And then God follows Satan in order to restore the harm done by Satan. So again, this is a beautiful heart that even though we are living in terrible times in one sense, what's really happening in the bigger picture in God's providence is very hopeful, that the harm done by Satan will be healed. And, you know, I want to see where God is every day. I read the Washington Times daily, and in studying the Divine Principle and studying True Mother's recent book, her memoirs that are the basis of my speech today, you know, I really believe that this nation is blessed by God. It has a responsibility to stand up in the world, to encourage peace and to support people who need support. A few weeks ago, all of us heard that North Korea blew up a liaison office on their side of the border, which was actually built with South Korean money, that was a home for peace talks. That was its sole purpose. And then they announced a military mobilization. However, right after that, not far off the coast of North Korea, 3 US submarines surfaced very visibly, and B-52 bombers were seen nearby. And just a short time later, North Korea announced that their plans for military mobilization had been put on hold. And hopefully this builds the way for deeper communication without threats. We all know that force is not a remedy. A heart of love and forgiveness is the remedy. When we look at history, in 1991, in the life of True Parents, they went to meet the communist dictator, Kim Il-sung, in North Korea. They could not go directly, they had to go through China. And they went after, decades after Kim Il-sung had imprisoned True Father in a slave labor death camp in the 1950s. And they knew that there was a very clear chance that they would be killed, especially once the delegation arrived there. When they met with the North Korean leaders, True Father boldly denounced their ideology and said that North Korea's ideology will never bring peace or unity to the Korean Peninsula. And it was obvious to everyone in a short time that Reverend Mrs. Moon were literally risking their life to be there to meet personally with Kim Il-sung. However, he went on to say that there is a solution, and that with God's love, with God at the center, with freedom of religion, there will become a new world. You know, Kim Il-sung was so moved by the heart of Reverend Moon coming into his country at the risk of his life, that his aides were entirely shocked when, toward the end of the meetings, he agreed and signed paperwork saying that he would work with Reverend Moon to create a better Korea and work with South Korea. I'd like to read what True Mother said about that. She said, "With joyful hearts, as representatives of the free world, we embraced enemies who would persecute us. By doing so, they were moved and we could reconcile. Thus, we laid the foundation for unification and peace." This is key. We went to North Korea not to get something, but to give genuine love. For the sake of God, my husband and I forgave the unforgivable. For the sake of humanity, we loved the unlovable. Over the coming months, our movement set up an industrial enterprise, Pyeonghwa Motors Factory, as well as a hotel and a World Peace Center in North Korea. So this kind of offering, not just words, not just ideas, but concrete service to bring about peace and unity, won over the heart of Kim Il-sung. And I'd like to mention that, this book, I encourage everyone to read it at least once, because it carries so many gems of guidance for everyone who's concerned about improving the state of humanity and our personal relationships as well. It offers solutions for selfish nationalism, for racism, for family breakdown, for problems of immorality. It's a pathway for everyone in the world to live in peace and to generate much more love, understanding sacrificial love. She described this golden age that we live in as a time when we can live and work with true parents who are the true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind. She made the declaration because true parents have established a pathway for all of humankind to begin living as one family under God. She said, to live as true people in this world and to enjoy eternal life in the next, we need to meet true parents. Every one of the nearly 8 billion people living on earth needs to meet true parents on earth. That is the purpose of the holy marriage blessing. And that's a great tool for us to use and to offer all of humanity. This is the era where you can see the living God through true parents directly with your own eyes and physical senses. God appears before us in the form of true parents. So how grateful we must be for this amazing grace of living with true parents and being able to receive guidance from them. Clearly, this is why we can say we live in the golden age. Let's think about the holy marriage blessing. True mothers traveling around the world, every country where she goes, she offers the blessing to the national leaders, to all the people who will attend. She's investing so much in this world and so much in us. It was very clear that as she ages, she's really pushing her physical limits. And she wants us to inherit her work, not for her sake, but for our sake, for the sake of God, for the sake of humanity. Life is short, and earthly life in reality is our preparation for eternal life. True Father said that every move you make on earth is recorded and based on divine law in the spirit world. So we need to keep in mind that heaven and hell are decided by our own thoughts and deeds. After we die, everyone will be able to watch the movie of our lives, what we were doing every moment on earth. Some people might not want to show parts of that movie because they made mistakes or hurt other people's hearts. They caused serious damage to other families or nations. But there is a remedy. The holy wine. The holy wine erases the sins, including original sin. This is why the blessing is so important for eternal life. True mothers still living with us on earth, giving the blessing. And this is why we call it the golden age, because it's a time of transition to a beautiful time with true parents, with God's love on earth. And like True Father, she's admonishing us to bless at least 430 families on earth, to offer the holy marriage blessing to that many people at least, but also to bless 430 generations of our ancestors, the people in the spiritual realm. This makes a substantial change physically and spiritually. And these activities give us indescribable grace, and we can experience that the more we unite. Whatever true parents are focused on, that can be our focus. That will enable true parents to have the maximum impact in the shortest amount of time. In 2007, True Father gave a speech and he said, in the era after the coming of heaven, God is revealing himself in front of all people through true parents. That's why the movement that attends true parents represents, and I love this part, the movement that represents the movement that attends true parents represents heaven's authority and power and is superior to any force in the world. This is an amazing power that we've been given, because there's certainly nothing in the world that can compare to that kind of power. So true parents have created an agenda to bring peace on earth through blessed families. The introduction of the divine principle says, God will be the center of the world founded upon this truth. Everyone will adore and serve God as their parent and live in harmony with each other in brotherly love. So we've got just a beautiful world right around the corner. I mean, it's very clear that, military weapons will not bring about this kind of world. And we're looking forward to transition to a world of peace, and prosperity, love, and support for all people. There's a specific testimony from two fathers' early days in Hungnam prison that's a good guideline for us day by day. He was sentenced to a slave labor camp, essentially, where most people died within 2 years from overwork, starvation, and disease. One day, when his mother brought him extra food, he didn't take it for himself. He accepted it from his mother, but during the bath time at the prison, he went through his other prisoners' clothes, and in their pockets, he would put a rice ball, some sample of food that his mother had given him. He didn't eat it himself. But the effect was when people came out of the showers, put on their clothes, and they found this precious, life-giving food in their pockets. At that point, no one could talk because of the communist rules. But many men had tears in their eyes coming down their face because they were so grateful for this simple act that conveyed such a precious gift, not just physically, but the heart behind it. Even in such a harsh environment, they really felt the power of love because it was sacrificial love. It was love going far beyond what anyone would normally do. So True Father could create heaven even in a slave labor camp. And then decades later, in Danbury prison again, True Mother wrote, she said, prisoners naturally struggle with anger, resentment, and selfishness. And True Father made Danbury a place where love could flow. Prisoners soon learned that Father Moon would spend his weekly stipend in the prison dispensary and throughout the week give everything away to lonely inmates. So let's unite with True Parents' unselfish lifestyle. We can see the world changing, and we can become leaders in leading the change. This nation needs people who will take responsibility at the world level. We might not be those people, but we can influence those people. That was True Mother's guidance. So we're fortunate that we're still alive when True Mother's alive on earth. She's running a rocky marathon through the world of restoration, across deserts, around mountain cliffs. She's carrying so many children on her back. Let's pick her up and carry her across the finish line ourselves in the next 2 years, certainly in the next 7. We can use our unique talents and abilities. We can work together. We can lead the United States to make a profound difference in the lives of other people. People that we meet, we can invite them to live with us in the golden age of love and forgiveness. We can invite them to live with us in Heavenly Parents' holy community. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you, Uncle Ernest. You made so many amazing points there. Really, we are living in the golden age, and we can follow True Parents' example and be representatives of them and all that we do. Thank you so much for encouraging us this morning. Reverend Patton's prepared a reflection question for us this morning, which is, how can I create heaven today by loving someone? How can I create heaven today by loving someone? So let's take a minute or two, brothers and sisters, reflect on this message, reflect on this question, and how we can put it into practice this week. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for taking that moment to reflect on the message this morning. Hello to the Patton family. You guys look great. And now we're going to have our closing prayer. Let's invite Reverend Milhan Stevens, Secretary General of Subregion 1 from New Jersey, for our closing prayer.
Please join me, family from around the world, America, in prayer. Dear Heavenly Parent, congratulations on another Sunday service from our amazing team and our leadership. Thank you for these inspiring words from your representatives of America. And as we're learning more and more to really lead this world, to bring this love, your everlasting love that continues to inspire no matter what the circumstances. Heavenly Parent, we invite you into each home that is tuning in this afternoon, this morning. Please fill them with your spirit and love. And even though sometimes we look at True Parents' family or Jesus' life, and we seem so small compared to what the kind of work that you're doing in this world. However, it is very vital that each of us recognize our importance as blessed families, as people who are doing our best to heal the past and to bring into new life your love that people have never seen before. So I pray, Heavenly Parent, that in this new week, this new Independence Day, after this Independence Day weekend, that we can be renewed once more and have a new determination to, as Reverend Patton is inviting us to ask ourselves, how can we love our friends and family even more this week and carry out your providence forward to bring unification, not just in North and South Korea, but in each of our hearts and minds and across this country at this very, very special time in our history. So we pray for our young people in America, that many of us are wrestling with so many different things in our life and the things that we're seeing in society. I pray that we can unite with each other and to look for the truth in True Mother's, her life story. Everything is in there. I pray that we can study and that we can lead this country to lead the world in peace all across it. So we thank you and report all these things in the name of Melhan and Saika Stevens, the blessed her family, and everyone gathered here today. Adieu.
Thank you, Reverend Stevens. In honor of yesterday's Independence Day, we'd like to feature an original song by Stephen Delorier called A Miracle, America. This original song will be performed by amazing musicians from all over our international holy community.
Morning sun is golden through the evergreens, like the torch of liberty, trotting through the foggy beams, landing of the pilgrims on our verdant shores. Can you see that shining city still glowing through the storm? Have you seen the light of freedom? It's there for you and me, high above the harbor for all the world to see. A miracle, America, the light of liberty. Gateway Arc is shining, afternoons on the plains. We're grateful to be sharing this harvest of choice grain. Prairie schooners ventured through unknown terrain, and in the hearts of many that pioneer spirit remains. Have you seen the light of freedom? It's there for you and me, high above the harbor for all the world to see. A miracle, America,
Wow, that was amazing. Thank you so much. And I love that we can connect together from all over the world through the amazing tech team and all your hard work. So thank you, brothers and sisters. I hope you had a wonderful experience this morning. And I'd like to invite you to make a donation to this amazing ministry and team that's working hard each week to pull this together for you. I want to invite you to type #coffee or go to nationalfamilyservice.org and press the Give a Coffee button. Just for the price of a cup of coffee, you can raise up this team and continue to support this ministry. Brothers and sisters, we love you. Thank you so much for giving us your time every Sunday morning. We look forward to seeing you next week. Goodbye.
See you next week.